How did the Cyclone Nation react to you becoming a Hawkeye?
Wow, you know that much about me, huh? That's pretty good because that goes back quite a ways. You know, I never wanted to be a Hawkeye. I just want you to know that. I wanted to stay being a Cyclone. And because that's where I did my wrestling, that's where I stayed and trained for the Worlds. I stayed and trained for the Olympic Games. It's just so happened right before the Olympic Games, I got recruited really hard by the Hawkeyes, and I didn't spend pay a whole lot of attention. I gave it to my support groups, my family, my mom, my dad. I was wanting to win the Olympics and make sure I win the Olympics, so I wasn't going to worry about what I was going to do professionally. But so I just I turned it over to them and my friends. And so Iowa University did a really good job of recruiting my family and my friends. And so that's what happened when all of a sudden I go, what do you want? What do you think I should do? And this was after, a couple months of getting recruited by those guys, and they all were committed to the Hawkeye Nation instead of a Cyclone Nation. Now, I really think that the Cyclones didn't think I'd ever leave either as well. And then the other thing was there was coaching limitations, and there still is. And they already had a full-time assistant. He had a head coach, which was one of the best coaches in the nation, Dr. Harold Nichols, and they had a full-time assistant, and he was one of the best assistant coaches in the nation, Les Anderson. So there really wasn't a position. Iowa State actually created a position for me, but it was one that was not, a real one. It was kind of like not really a fake, but it was just one that was low-key. And like I said, had I made the decision, I'd have stayed and been a Cyclone. But it was a really good decision for the sport that I went, because the Hawkeyes weren't that great. They had never won a national title, weren't winning Big Ten titles, weren't getting a lot of national champions. We had a few. We had a great wrestler named Terry McCann that won the Olympics a few years probably back before that. But, it was just one of these things that all of a sudden you created a big interstate rivalry. And all of a sudden our crowds went up from, Iowa State was getting 5,000, 6,000 people at their matches, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000. The Hawkeyes were only getting a few hundred. So all of a sudden we had this interstate rivalry that was 10,000 selling out, 15,000. And all of a sudden, the sport got bigger because of that. We started getting more TV time. We started getting more national interest. So it was a good thing, but it was really a guy named Kurtelmeyer and some people over in Iowa City, Iowa, that got really they basically said, we're not going to say no. But they went to the people that loved me. And because they weren't going to get anything out of me. Because I was focused. I already been unfocused once, got beat. So I said, no, I'm not gonna focus on this. I'm focusing on the Olympics. So that's what you got to do.